I'd just like to welcome Daniel to share with us today. Without any further ado, we'll dive in. Could you tell us a bit about who you are and what you're up to?
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I appreciate your indulgence for my tardiness. I'm usually pretty intense about being on time, but today was a special day at the university, and I just came from talking to a group of young men and women like yourselves. Who am I? I'm a part-time hired assassin, and in my free time I pretend to be a farmer. I was born and raised in Addis Ababa, up in the center of town, in an area called today Piazza, still called Piazza today, and I still live there in that area. Now, what do? I do many things, one of which is farm horticultural crops for export markets, prepackaged supermarket products. Your mic is going again, I think. I think the battery doesn't like. Can I have a mic on here. Okay, I can talk loud. I'm a Gulele boy, so shouting out loud, Sama, I can do that. But I grew up in Addis, and in my last 2 years of high school, I had an opportunity to go on a scholarship program. I ended up in a place called Cornelius, Oregon. If you don't know where that is, it's in western United States on the west coast. And Cornelius is a very small town. It was a small town. Today it's a suburb of Portland, Oregon. And I ended up living with a family, of a farm family. Imagine going from Addis, born and raised in the center of Addis at the time. I had never really met a cow that I liked or grew anything that was agricultural. I was pretty much a city kid. I went to school at St. Joe's. And when I went to the States, they took me to meet the cows. The family has 200 cows, and there were 7 people in the family. Once you learn agriculture, you'll know why you need to have a lot of children. You need labor. It's the cheapest labor to have, so I became one of the cheap laborers on the farm. In exchange, I got great meals, lots of milk, and good food, and a wonderful family that worked very hard on a dairy farm. If you know anything about dairy farming, it's a 365 days a year job. You don't shut down. Cows give milk all the time. There's no time to say, oh, let's go on Christmas vacation. No, somebody has to stay home to milk the cows. You milk the cows twice a day. Would you like the mic?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else I can? Yeah, have a drink. That was very nice. So I lived there. I learned the beauty, the challenge of agriculture, and also learned a lot about family cohesion and hard work. Everybody gets up at 6 in the morning, gets dressed, and goes to their individual assignments. Whatever you're assigned, whether it's the milking parlor, it's called a parlor. The ladies, the cows, like a beauty parlor, they go to the milking parlor. And some went to the parlor, some of us went to do hay or fence work or whatever. So that's before school. That's before school. After about an hour and a half of working on the farm, you come back, eat breakfast, and then go to school. Take a shower, and then go to school. I spent wonderful 2 years there learning all the great things about agriculture and the commitment that people have and families have to agriculture, and how much they produced and enjoyed, and how much the family stayed together. I got the bug then. I got the bug about agriculture, the importance of food production, the importance of commitment to create and deliver nutritious food. To this day, It has stayed with me, although I went to university. And I like it, it's back. To this day, it stayed with me in my personal life and my personal commitment that I believe in human beings. There are certain things that are undifferentiated among human beings anywhere in the world. If there's anybody here who has not been born, let me know. You must be a ghost. So everybody here has been born, right? Everybody here has been born?
There are some.
There are some who will not.
We're not born.
Or will not admit that they were born. And what is the next thing that happens to us? The last thing we do as human beings. What do? We die. We die. So there are two things that every human being goes through. You're born. That's the business for obstetricians, pediatricians. That's that business. The second business is when we die, is the taxman or the mortician or the funeral service company. The rest of our life is in between those two events for every human being. And what is in that interim? What do? You grow, but you can't grow if you don't do the other thing. What is the other thing that all of us do from the moment we leave our mother's womb? We breathe. Still. Eat. Eat. Every human being on this earth, born, eats, and dies. Everything else happens is extra. Your cell phone, your very valuable PDA, whatever you use, or your nice clothes, your friends. The important thing in life is what human beings eat. The biggest part of human energy is spent in finding food and consuming food. Why do you work? So you can have moolah to buy good stuff, like good stuff here at this wonderful place. That's my commitment to my personal life. And what do we do about living? What do we do about creating new economic value? What do we do about creating nutritious environments, safe environments, environmentally sound environments? And how do we go about making that happen? In that mix, today, I still believe that some of you have ideas that you could act on and you could quickly become millionaires. And I mean that seriously. I said that in 2004 when I gave a TED talk. And in Amharic, we have a thing called Semen Nawark, wax and gold. It's a way of using language to express hidden meanings. So when you translate it to English, what I wanted to say in Amharic was, Ka'afar yifalq al-warq. You cannot find gold without dirt. Gold doesn't show up on a rock or on a shelf. So I wanted to express and relay a message that from the dirt that we walk on, the dirt that we dig and kick around, we produce our food. We produce our sustenance. We produce our humanity. Because without that dirt, we would not be able to produce food like we do today. Well, the Dutch would argue that they have now perfected technology that they could grow stuff in incredible ways. And you have to go to Holland to see this. It's unbelievable. It's growing without soil. It's called soilless farming. It's grown on medium, it's grown in water, and it's vegetables you could eat. But it has limitations. Technologically, it's expensive, and it's very technically demanding. And so you have to have a different kind of mentality about agriculture. The Dutch had no choice. They have little or no space. We have space in Ethiopia. Okay? We have over 88 million farming members of the farming community in Ethiopia. We produce the top crops and cereals and pulses and even livestock globally. Okay? Ethiopia is in the top 10 and in many cases in the top 5 in the world in the production of agriculture output. So what does that mean to you? As they say, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Well, it has everything to do with it, simply because how would you be able to make money today with what Ethiopia produces the most? We don't have diamonds, we don't have oil, maybe we have gas, and we have a lot of other good things, good weather, but the thing we have most abundant is wonderful land and wonderful farmers who produce significant amount of agriculture output. How can you individually take that output and make something out of it? How could you today stop buying hot sauce from Dubai? Okay, anybody use ketchup? Chips, French fries, and ketchup? Yeah, almost everybody. Well, guess what? The ketchup you're eating is 99% imported. But we have tomatoes here on the side of the road, on a wheelbarrow. You know what it takes to make ketchup? About 15 minutes. About 15 minutes. What you need is a bunch of good tomatoes. So you can make a living out of that. You know what it takes to make hot sauce? You eat it here every day if you eat Ethiopian food.
Peppers.
Chilies, peppers, a little bit of acid, maybe from balazaf, aceto, and some spices. And you need a bottle. You're in business. I just gave you your first $1 million. So run with it. When I spoke at that time, there were people who were worried about, what can I produce and compete and so on. You know, there are a bunch of guys out there today producing peanut butter. At that time, the peanut butter that you saw mostly in the supermarkets was a product called Skippy. Skippy is a nice name. Yeah? Skippy was an expensive, creamy peanut butter full of salt that came from somewhere else via Dubai. And here we have farmers producing peanuts and energetic, smart people who say, how I convert peanuts to peanut butter. 20 minutes. Okay? Kilo of peanuts, a little mashing machine, and a bottle to receive it in. And you're in business. Look at the supermarket shelves today. There are at least 8 companies who are doing very well, thank you. They're small operations, and they're producing very good quality peanuts, all natural, without preservatives, directly from the farmer's peanuts to the bottle on your table. Now we have a little problem there because mostly you don't eat peanut butter by itself, right? What do you need? Bread. What's the second thing you need? You must be Canadian, because in Canada they eat the peanut butter with their pancakes. Eh? You need PB&J, peanut butter and jam or jelly. Okay? You need your jelly. Guess what? It's imported. So you can buy strawberries here at the supermarket or on the road. It'll take you 10 minutes to turn or mash a bunch of strawberries with a cup of sugar, heat it up, and what do you have? Strawberry jam. You put that on your bread and your peanut butter and you have a local product. Now, the bread we have to discuss, because right now in Ethiopia, wheat flour is imported to a great degree, maybe 30 to 40% because of a shortage of wheat. the government is importing wheat flour. Another discussion. But in terms of opportunity and what you can do, and what I believe in, is you look around your environment, use your creativity, use your energy, use your knowledge. That little thumb that runs around on that nice screen, sometimes it's cracked. And you can find the recipe for everything you want to make with local material. You don't need to be 100% imported. You can be 80% local, 10% imported, and the rest of it your creativity. Packaging, labeling, and marketing. Those are the product differentiators that will make you succeed. Look at Bethlehem Talahun and Soul Rebels. Out of a Korkoro Beit, she's producing shoes globally. And she's going to do the same with coffee, and she's doing it with other ideas that she has. That just mentality has to be set on entrepreneurship, on creativity, and the thing that I believe in most is fearlessness. Be fearless. When you're in your kitchen trying to make strawberry jam, and somebody comes in and say, "Minno srafat tashalati," tell them to go away.